When these types of issues are not resolved, we run into projection. Projections harm our relationships because you're essentially making someone in the present, in the now, responsible for experiences that they were not actually a part of. Let me give you an example. My father worked a lot and did not spend time with me. I would ask him to come to my games and to my school plays. He said he loved me, but that he couldn't be there. I felt unimportant. I believed I was unimportant. Now I am with a man who works a lot and is showing interest in me. When he says he has a meeting or needs to work on a project, I become passive aggressive, becoming short in my responsive, making passive aggressive comments about his coworkers. Who is this? I'm taking my experience from the past and what I took it to mean about me, unimportant, not worth it, that kind of thing, and projecting it onto my man today. I don't leave room for other alternatives. I think I already know how the story ends. I'm gonna end up begging for attention and he's gonna end up rejecting me. But before we do the work, before we really start to unlayer these wounds from our past and how it's playing out in the present, we're not thinking about all that stuff consciously. We're just acting it out. Let me just highlight one line here. When he says he has a meeting or needs to work on a project, I become passive aggressive. The key projection moment. So I had my past, dad didn't show up to my games or school plays. I took it to mean something about me, right? Internalization, your behavior, your decision now means something about me. I internalized it because I haven't done anything with it. I've developed this belief about work, about my value in relationships, about men, how they value relationships, or if they care about my feelings or not, right? I can develop all of these ideas. And the projection piece is that I treat you as if the ideas that I have in mind that are dysfunctional and negative, and I treat you as if it's true, as if it's the only reality that's available to me. Hence, I come to this conclusion, I'm gonna end up begging for attention and he's going to reject me just like dad. Again, this is just one example. We could come up with so many, but let's keep going with this one. So is it possible that you're with another workaholic like your dad? It's possible. It's also possible that the person that you're dating now had a life before you and maybe he hasn't integrated you in the way that he would if you all were in a serious relationship. It's also possible that he just does not know your needs and he does have more capacity for meeting those needs than you think that he does. It's also possible that you're jumping to conclusions and catastrophizing a situation before you really communicated your thoughts and feelings effectively. So we have a bit of a pickle. I know how this works. You don't want to get played. You don't want to miss red flags. And at the same time, though, you're realizing at the same time you want to be able to have grace and you want to be willing to compromise with your partner. There are real questions that people struggle with here. How do you know if you're dealing with a real problem in the present, a real imbalance with the work and relationship? Is that a real problem, or am I projecting the past into this moment? How do you know if the other person has a legitimate concern or if they're projecting onto you? These are all great questions, and there is not a black or white answer. In other words, there's no particular behavior that necessarily means that it's a real problem or a projection. There's not this very simple way to decipher. So we have to actually use emotional intelligence, which naturally means that context matters, nuance is real, and communication is necessary to be able to handle the situation appropriately.